Good evening to you all. I'm very glad to meet all of you through this time once again. Although tonight is a time for the brothers meeting, but I hope all our brothers and sisters, you must hear the word of God together for this time. I'd like to open the Bible, Genesis chapter 6, verse 13. Genesis chapter 6, verse 13. I will read for you. And God said to Noah, the end of the all flesh has come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And behold, I will destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, and cover it inside and outside with pitch. And this is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. You shall make a window for the ark, and you shall finish it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. You shall make it with lower, second, and third deck. And behold, I myself and bring it flow waters on the earth, to destroy from under heaven all flesh in which is the bread of life. Everything that is on the earth shall die. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall go into the ark, you, your sons, your wife, and your son's wife with you, and of every living things of all flesh you shall bring two of every sort into the ark, to keep them alive with you. They shall be male and female, of the bird after their kinds, of animals after their kinds, and of every creeping things of the earth after its kinds. Two of every kind will come to you to keep them alive. And you shall take for yourself of all food that is eaten, and you shall gather it to yourself, and it shall be food for you and for them. Thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him. So he did. Okay. Like last time, even tonight I'd like to talk about Noah. Do you remember we shared the heart of God last time from the Noah story? Yes. In case of the Noah, he didn't looking at the ground. He didn't looking at the earth. But he found the grace in the eyes of God. Means he was looking at above. That is the reason why he able to change his heart. Since his heart is changed, the life he shall live, it was decided together. He cannot live any longer like before. Because of the small heart, his heart began to has changed. And then through that small heart change, that changed all the life of Noah. And as we read tonight, if we are looking at the last verse of this chapter, Bible said, thus Noah did according to all that God commanded him, so he did. Bible said, Noah did according to all that God commanded him. This is the amazing verse in my eyes tonight, because when I looking at all the command from the God upon Noah, all the word what God spoke unto him, it is impossible things, totally impossible things. I believe it is out of the authority of the Noah. It's out of the ability of Noah. But God commanded to him to do it. But most surprising thing is, Bible said, does Noah did it? The question I have, how it is possible? How does he able to do all those kinds of things according to what God commanded unto him? We should not listen this word just anyhow. While I'm reading this Bible tonight, I remember one scripture from the Bible. That is John chapter 2. I believe everyone knows well about this story. There is a wedding in Ghana. And Jesus was there. And then there is a time when all the wine is dried up. So Mary came to Jesus and talked about there's no wine. But Jesus said, my hour is not yet come. And then when Mary heard that response from the Jesus, what does Mary spoke to the servant is, she said like this, whatsoever he say unto you, do it. Whatsoever he say unto you, do it. You know, like while I'm reading the story of Noah, do you understand the reason why I remember this scripture together? Because Mary had mind already to do everything whatsoever Jesus spoke unto her. That's why with that heart, that's why she delivered that heart unto the servant and able to speak to them that whatsoever he said, do it. I believe this is the heart what we need for this day. You know, like there is a time when we have the war came in the Gambia. But before we have the war camp, actually I don't have any mind to do the camp in the Gambia. Because what kinds of, the mindset I had and then conception I had, a majority of the Gambia is the Muslims. It's different from Ghana, it's different from Togo or Cote d'Ivoire. Yes, those Christian country is good for them to have the war camp, but Gambia is different. The circumstances of the Gambia is different. But what I used to see is the country where they wanted to have the war camps began to many, are increased one by one. So one day, like those kinds of happen, pressed my heart. And then one day, I opened my heart and I met Pastor Park and I asked him, Pastor, I even really wanted to have war camp, but it is so burdened into my heart because I had many programs in Gambia until now. And Gambia is a Muslim country. Whenever we have the program, the number of the people was not many. If I'm trying to do well, if I'm trying to get many people, maybe 100 people, I believe that will be the maximum number of the people which I can gather. But Pastor, imagine that. I invited the guest speaker from South Korea for this camp, and if there are only 100 people, I feel like shame, and you know, even it is not good for the guest speaker who came far from the Korea. When I expressed about all my heart unto him, the answer from the Pastor Park was amazing to me. What does he say is, hey brother O, will of God is preaching the gospel unto the Gambia. What is the matter of number of the peoples? Although 50 people gather, or 70 people gather, or 80 people gather, or 100 people gather, as you said, is there any problem for that? Don't you know that will of God is preaching gospel unto the Gambia? When I hear that word, I was shocked from my heart. Because I have mind just to achieve something. Because I have mind to try to achieve the goals where I wanted to go. But what Pastor Park, spoke to me is totally different from the my mindset. For me, when I hear the story of or testimony of the work came from the other country, I have mind that, I'm the one who have to do this kinds of like other country. But when I'm looking at the circumstances, it was impossible. So I didn't do anything. I could not do anything for that time. But what the response from the pastor, when I hear from him, that changed my heart totally different from the before. He said, Pastor O, don't you know that the will of God is preaching the gospel unto the Gambia? I am able to see the heart of God through him. And then I began to believe that, yes, that is the truth. Will of God is preaching gospel to the Gambia. Then, what is the matter about the number of the people they gather? That is not anymore the problem. And I began to have mind that, okay, let's do the work camp. So, when I returned Gambia, and then when I announcement about this program onto all our brothers and sisters, they was all glad. They are all glad to hear that. They are all happy for hear that. But whenever I meet our brothers and sisters more like deeply, and when I talk with them more detailedly, most of them, what kinds of mind they had is, Pastor, may God bless you. Pastor, God will help you. And then, they used to speak these kinds of words, but the heart they had is doesn't want to obtain the work together with the church. Finally I am able to see that they have the same heart like me before. Because they used to see our program in Gambia until now. When I tell them that 300 people will participate our camp, and they said, among our brothers and sisters, no one believed that announcement. Truly. People say, Amen. Yes, Pastor is good. But from their heart, there is no one who believes that. Why? They already studied for so many times from our previous program we had before. Although we try and invite people, maybe 50 people, 70 people maximum. So, instead of, they also have begun to have mind about, like, God surely give us 300 people. They just have mind that, if it is done, it's good, Pastor then. So, since that moment, I remember I started to have fellowship with our brothers and sisters. There is a time even my wife came to me and asked, yes, let's say God sent 300 people to our camp. Then, where they are coming from? Just tell me where they are coming from. So I tell her that I don't know from where they will come to our camp, but they will come, don't worry. At that moment, many people have doubting about that. But that moment, I hear the word of God once again through the Pastor Park in internet. I'd like to share that word with you once again. 1 Samuel chapter 14, verse 6 said, Then Jonathan said to the young man who bore his armor, Come, let us go over to the garrison of the uncircumcised. It may be that the Lord will work for us, for nothing restrains the Lord from saving by many or by few. When I looking at this word, I was so moved from my heart, because I was worried about, okay, let's do the world camp, but the people, those who work for this program, they are too small. Where can I get all these people? Because at that moment, the number of our brothers and sisters, they are not many. So, I have mind that it can be difficult. What shall I do? But when I hear this word, God spoke to me that, the way how God saved the people is not according to the number of the peoples. It's not by the number of the peoples. He will do what he like to do. Then, since that moment, I show this word unto all our brothers and sisters. I started to show this word unto my wife. Come, my wife, come. And I open this scripture and tell her that, can you lead these boys? She led. And I spoke to her that, can you lead this boy 10 times? And when she led 7 times, even she said, Amen. God will send 300 people for our camp. I was so much thanks unto God, who change the heart. Likewise, I started to have fellowship with our brothers and sisters one by one like this. And then I was so much happy whenever I see how our brothers and sisters, their heart began to change according to the word of God at that moment. Although, not many people register for our camp, but I was happy through our brothers and sisters change their heart through this word of God. Amazing thing is, when we start our camp in year 2013, we saw God send more than 300 people for our camp. I was really crying from my heart, and I was really thankful from the deep of my heart. It was so amazing to me. It is so graceful to me. After we finished one day of the camp, one brother come to me and said to me that, Pastor, yes, it is graceful, and thanks to God, more than 300 people come to the opening ceremony today. But Pastor, are they coming? Will they come in tomorrow too? I was angry to the brother. Brother, why don't you believe in God? Why you don't believe in God? If you believe that the God who sent for us 300 people today, why you don't believe that God will send another 300 people for tomorrow also? That is a heart where we must go and may go for it. But what I used to see is Satan always make, he like to play with our heart in this way, always. And make us do not believe in God. Make us do not have the heart of God in us. And make us to live according to the circumstances. Many people come to me and explain about the circumstances and make me to understand the circumstances. But when I found the heart of God and when I received the word of God, no matter about what kinds of the circumstances there is, I cannot but take steps continuously for the heart God gave unto me. Yes, I knew it. It is impossible. It is difficult to us to have and to us to gather the 300 people. Even when I went to ministry of the youth and sports, I informed about our program to them. I wish they can help something to us. One of the director, even one of the director from the Ministry of the Higher Education, when I informed about it to them, he said, "Good luck, Pastor. But for me, for us, there is nothing what we are able to do for you. We never have this kinds of program before, so we don't know what to do. I wish just to you to good luck." I was really disappointed from my heart. Yes, there is those kinds of circumstances. There is people those always complain, and there are people who always like to explain about the circumstances. But since I believe that our will of God is preaching this gospel unto this country. And salvation of God is not according to the number of the peoples. When I looking at that heart, and when I found that heart from the God, I cannot but take step forward continuously to prepare this work. Imagine that how many people even come for the Noah. I believe so many people come for the Noah and complain and make him to understand the circumstance. Noah, you say what? God like to destroy all the living thing with flow? Look at, don't you see the sky? There is even no, seems like getting to rain. There's no even sign for that. How long have you seen the sky? And do you still wanted to same thing like before? Maybe there are many people who spoke in this way unto the Noah. But Noah cannot do anything. That's why he kept the time to build the ark continuously. That's why he able to take step forward continuously according to the command of God he spoke. Like there are many people also like to complain about our church. There are many people also like to insult our church. Because I believe the way how our church like to do, the heart which is God transformed to our church is totally different from the heart they had and the way they are working on it. Brothers and sisters, imagine that how God is working with Noah. There is a time I met one missionary in the Gambia. He's coming from South Korea even. Through another church. And I met him, and then I shared my testimony with him. Especially the concerning of this world camp and this testimony I just gave unto you. When he heard that, he was surprised. When I showed the picture together, he was shocked, he was surprised to looking at me and asked me that, is that true? The Gambian pay, for their registration fee? Is that true? Your church brothers and sisters gave this amount of offering for this program? So I say, without it, how can we have these kinds of program? For them, maybe they receive all the sponsorship from the Korea or all the support from Korea and like to do the program in the Gambia. And that's why when he hear the way how we are going to do, and they are surprised to hear that. But brothers and sisters, look at, truly, the way how God is working in the Gambia is different from the way how the common people, they used to think and walk. I was so much thanks unto the God. Like if you remember John chapter 2, Mary came to the Jesus and informed about there's no wine. Jesus said, my hour is not yet come. But I am able to see Mary have special faith. She believed that Jesus has everything. Jesus has solutions. Even there is a wine. So Mary spoke with that heart, with that faith. Mary spoke to the servant that whatever he say to you, do it. I believe the servant, all of them, they received same heart from the Mary. That's why whatever Jesus spoke to them, they did it. Think about it. Jesus spoke to them to fill the water in the water pot. And after they finished the work, tell them that take it again and give to the feast. Yes, the water changed to wine already. Brothers and sisters, God always works in this way and with these kinds of heart. You know, that's why even up to today, God wished that to change our heart. God wished that for us to discover His heart and His word. Because if you found the grace in the eyes of the God, if you found and discover the heart of God, even water can change to the wine. You know, like, let me give you the one more story to you, and then, you know, there is certain girl in America. She was living in the very poor family. She has a problem. That is the handicap she has. You know, she's lame since when she was young. But she doesn't have the way and money even to treat her leg. So she was just living just like how it is. One day, one old woman passing by the street and then saw that small girl. You know, and then the old lady asking to her, a small girl, what is your name? She said, my name is Jane. Okay, Jane, what's wrong with you? Why you are look so sad and even cry? And the small girl Jane spoke to her that I wanted to learn like my friends. I wanted to play like my friend, but look at my leg. So I'm just sitting down and I'm just feeling sad, and even I wanted to cry for it. That word, that story really touched that old woman's heart. So although that old woman doesn't have any relationship with this Jane, but started to find out the way she able to receive treatment. And she found one good doctor, and through him, you know, this small girl Jane received operations and able to have good leg. Since that moment, the Jane able to walk and even learn like the friend. The doctor was so happy. Even the old lady, the old woman was so happy for it. After time passed, so many years passed, about 10 years. The old lady and the doctor met again and then discussed about Jane. You know, the doctor was asking to the old lady, Madam, how's Jane this day? I believe she may find and she may live with smile face. She may live with happiness now for this time. But that old lady couldn't speak anything but just put down the head to the ground. Hey, tell me the story of the Jane. Why you didn't tell me anything for the Jane? I still remember the small girl Jane. 10 years passed, maybe she's a big girl now. Does she marry? And finally, the old lady spoke to the doctor that, Doctor, you know what? She's in the prison now. What? She's at where? She's in prison. What happened to her? You know, she met bad people and become of the gang. And, you know, one day even she kills someone. So she's in the prison for now. And spoke to the doctor that although we gave her the good leg, healthy body, but problem was we didn't teach her the way, the good way where she have to go with that good leg. Brothers and sisters, likewise, there is more important thing than our flesh. That is our heart. Our heart is more important than our flesh. Just like that Jane, small girl. You know, teaching her where she have to go, that is more important than she may have good leg. Even it's important what kinds of heart we have, more than good condition of our flesh. You know, the work of heaven, work from the above, is more important than work of this earth, work of this ground. Many people doesn't think in that way. That's why they are still living same like before. Those ever discover the heart of God, those ever found the grace in the eyes of the God, just like Noah, just like Mary and the servant in that wedding ceremony, just like them, that person cannot but live differently from before. I wish our brothers and sisters in Good News Mission in the Gambia may find that grace in the eyes of God, so that look upon from the God and focus from the above, not, you know, just like looking at only the ground and the earth and your flesh. As I last time explained to you, what type of the people do you want it to be? Like the person like Herod, who focused on the benefit of this earth, or the wise men from the east, who looking at the above and finally found Jesus in their life. if you're able to find and if you're able to know the heart of God into your life tonight, then from tonight, your life will be changed. From tonight, the country where you belong to will be changed. Your family will be changed too. Change starts from the small heart. So brothers and sisters, remember the word you was listening today. And let's meditate on it more. And then let's share the heart you receive from God with other brothers, even within your family. And if there is any testimony and any heart you wanted to share with others, you can upload that heart onto our WhatsApp page, group page. I believe that can even bless all your souls and all your heart for your life. Thank you so much. I'm finished until here.